Zugno. Yeah. We be chopping it up. Word around town, we be chopping it up. AC the barber, he be chopping it up. Chopping it up. Brand new podcast, chopping it up. You can get you some game or you can get you a cut. We speaking all kind of topics from rich to poor. All negative vibes. Get your ass out the door.
What's up, everybody? You tuned in to the Chopping It Up podcast. We are back. Man, I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Errol Wesley. Right here, man. We right here at 2107 South College, man. Elegant Cuts Barbershop. We just chopping it up, man. Just having a good time. Catching up on old times. Just talking about what's going on in today's world. Man, we just talking and just enjoying life right now. Well, Mr. Wesley, man, if you could tell people something encouraging or something that we need to work on as a race or even as parents, man, just to give them an overview of how you were raised and with a collab of how you were raised and what's going on nowadays. What do you would suggest for people and parents to do, you know?
Well, me myself, I think that pride in yourself will take a lot of people a lot farther than they're going. People are so used to people telling them what they can't do. You know, and me as a person, that's the worst thing you can say to me is what I can't do, because now you just told me this is my destination. I gotta put this down. This is the most important thing in the world, to do what I can't do. You know, I spent some time in the Marines. I joined the Marines when I was a high school student, right? Yeah. The discipline that I learned from my family was the basis of how I feel I could go. But the thing that made me the maddest was when the guys came to Navasota High School. There was a white recruiter, and when I said I'm interested in the Marines, the guy looked at me and said, "You can't go." And I said, "I can't go. I mean, y'all ain't accepted blacks? No, you just ain't Marine Corps material." Hey, I made it my business to see him every time he came to the school, and then I found out that he had used my strong point against me. The fact that I couldn't stand people telling me I couldn't do anything. Yeah. So after I came home on a vacation after I joined the Marines, he said, "You was the easiest recruit I ever had." He said, "I could see it in you that you just had that pride and nobody could tell you what you can't do." Yeah. So we as a people got to keep the pride. We got to look backwards so we see where we came from. We didn't come from slaves like everybody thinks. You know, everybody saying, the blacks were slaves. We came from kings and queens. You know, some of the places in Africa were some of the richest places ever. So we have to look back and remember where we came from. Yeah. And then we have to set our minds to go there. You know, just remember the only limitation is you. Yeah. You limit yourself. Yeah. It ain't the white folks stepping on you. It ain't the influence from outside the house influencing your child. Because when your child gets old enough to leave the house, you should be already instilled in him what he needs to know. Yeah. No, the streets can't teach you nothing if your parents had already taught you something.
Man, I think you need to say that again, Wes. You need to say that again.
Like I said, the streets can't teach you nothing. Yeah. If your parents already taught you something. Yeah. Like they say, if you don't know nothing, you fall for everything. Yeah. So we as black people, we need to start spending some time with our kids. You know. And change up some of the things, you know. I know that people are getting younger, you know, but if you think about it, if you go back in history, people used to have kids at 12, 15, 16 years old. That was the everyday thing because life expectancy wasn't that long. So you started your families early. Oh, okay. You know, and now they say we suffer from kids trying to raise kids. You know, you got a grandmother and she only 40 years old. So you say, oh, well, we started early. But don't let that hold you back. You know, we have to break this chain of what white folks say. White folks say a black person that has a child at 15 years old never reaches above 15 years of maturity. Wow. But we can't live with that. See, we have to start our kids out talking to them like grown-ups when they little kids. Because we're not trying to instill age in them. Because time gonna give you age. You're gonna get old. Yeah. Unless you dial in. But what we trying to install into our kids is maturity. Yeah. the ability to stand and think on your own.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
be mature. Don't be like the old folks say, ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because stupid is when you can't learn something, but ignorant is when you know something but you don't use it.
Yeah.
We can't be ignorant.
Yeah. Yeah.
We as a people have to keep moving forward on intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's no limit to intelligence. Yeah, everybody doesn't have the mentality and the ability to retain to get a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody that wants to do something has the ability to go out there and put the pride in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the pride in what you're doing is what make people come back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I ran Mr. Handyman Home Services, I didn't worry about any other people coming around and taking the jobs that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I went there, I showed the people that, hey, I'm going to bring you pride, perfection,
Mm-hmm.
quality, not quantity. It's the quality of the work.
Yeah.
You know, you can have 1,500 people, quality, but if 1,400 of them are messed up and only one is quality, you know, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah. You
So it's the quality, the pride that you put in your work, quality, the pride that you put in your families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't be afraid not to be your kid's friend.
Mm-hmm.
See, I found out looking back on younger parents, as an older parent with my sons being grown, there's a lot of people that make the mistake of thinking I have to be my son, I have to be my daughter's friend. You don't.
Yeah.
You got one job. Once you have them, your job is to be a parent.
Yeah.
It's not to be a friend, just to be a parent. A parent, someone that sets some guidelines, some standards, you know, because people don't have standards anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you see women that they've had them misfortune of having a child young. So now you find these brothers that play on that. Oh, ain't nobody gonna never want you. Ain't nobody want that kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lower your standards, you're gonna end up with a nobody.
Yeah.
So don't lower your standards. If you have that you're gonna find your Boaz,
Mm-hmm.
you can't accept no jackass.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So same for guys. If you've already decided that you need a queen, you can't accept no housemaid.
Yeah.
You know, we have to set some guidelines, some goals, some standards
Mm-hmm.
to make your life be what you want it to be. Because the true statement is life is what you make it.
Yeah. That is a true statement. That is a true
That's a
statement.
true statement. Life is what you make it.
Yeah.
So if you feel like I'm the dummy from the country, you're going to live dummy from the country. But I can tell you right now, there's a song that said, country boy will survive. I'm living proof. A country boy will survive.
Yeah.
You know, go from a zero to a hero
Mm-hmm.
because you believe in yourself. Don't never let anybody talk you down from what you believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mama used to tell my sisters, hey, put some clothes on.
Yeah.
Don't go out here
Cover up.
in them hot pants and them halter tops because you ain't leaving the guy no imagination.
Yeah.
Cover yourself up and make him have to use his imagination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make a man appreciate you and respect you.
Yeah.
Same thing for young guys. Hey, don't leave your home, leave your mama's house. You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to clean. You don't know how to do nothing for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you know what? After all your youthism is gone and you get to be an old man, you're going to end up with somebody saying, you're going to do what I say do because you can't do nothing.
Yo, you can't argue that.
You can't even count
do
your
that.
own money.
Yeah.
You know, what you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to instill into our kids what we want them to be when they leave our homes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And as black people, we should always want our people to be the best thing going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Black colleges used to say, mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make sure that our kids and our offspring, because I make sure that my grandsons know.
Yeah.
We don't talk baby talk here. You know, we gonna talk the truth to you.
Yeah.
And see, my grandsons are a special type of people because they are part black or either part Mexican.
Okay.
You know, so I tell them all the time, don't forget where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because there's places that you're gonna go that people gonna look at you, and just because you light bright and almost white, but you got that curly hair, they gonna hate you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they're fighting a losing battle because You know it. You walk around every day and see the population. Tell me when the last time you seen a straight white, a straight black, a straight Mexican. You know, the world is becoming a melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
So, be who you gonna be. Stop saying so-and-so holding me down. Because they can't hold you down.
Do you think that that's just an excuse for us to say that? Because I always hear my granddad say that's just because of the laziness that we don't want to get up and do nothing.
That's it. They're just lazy.
Yeah.
Because nobody hold you down.
Yeah.
You know, there are places that blacks couldn't go to school, blacks couldn't eat, blacks couldn't even apply for a job. Now, that's bad when you're applying for a job and they won't hire you.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Keep pushing. Don't let anybody tell you where you can't go.
You know, Wes, I find this ironic, man, because I had an instance one time where, you know, somebody was telling me that, you know, they didn't know how to do business, and they didn't know how to find out certain stuff, or how to go to I think it was one of my clients to go to the county, to the county for something.
Workforce.
So it was something to where they had to get out and go in the building and find out. I don't know if it was an application process or nothing, but he would always come into my man. You heard who was boxing down at East Park, and he'd put it up right there on his phone. I said, man, you can find that out, but you can't walk right down. You can't go right downtown and find out all that stuff you need to find out. But you can call such and such and call your partner and they ask them, hey man, who that had gotten to it down there? You got all the resources to do that, but then you don't want to go down here and get this him.
AC, the thing they need to learn is the difference between networking and gospel.
Yeah. Now you hit the nail on the head.
Gossip is when you go down and find out who's fighting in the park.
Yeah.
But if you want a job, network.
Yeah.
Network. Call some people that know some people that know some people. You know?
Yeah.
And if you know the right people, they won't mind giving you a hand.
I didn't believe his story, because at the end of the day, you can get on the phone right there and call. You know who to call to find that out, but you don't know who to call to go down here and get this paperwork.
Yeah.
Oh man, I say, man, I wasn't buying it. He lost me. But it's just some people don't want to work for what they want. They only want to work for what they want to know.
That's right. You know, some people, the biggest problem I'm seeing with young adults right now, you don't want to go out and do anything to better yourself, but you want to be hired as a manager when you go down to McDonald's.
Oh man, boy, you hit the nail on the head with that.
I ain't frying. I'm not frying no French fries.
Yeah, you know, they too good.
I know better than that. I know how to do that, but you don't have anything that says you know how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and if you pay attention, all of these job opportunity ads like Indeed, the newspaper and stuff, they know how to play on your mind. Hey, come down here, get on with us. We looking for a manager.
Yeah.
How you looking for a manager for a person that don't even know the name of your company? That's just one of the things they play on your mind with. But like I say, if you don't know nothing, you fall for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You get down there and you find out that the ad said we paying $65,000 a year, when the ad should have said we paying $2,400. You know,
yeah,
because you ain't making no money.
Yeah,
but you, like I say, we gotta have some pride in ourselves. We gotta make it a point to reach back and educate our younger blacks.
Yeah.
No matter who they are, no matter who they kin to, who they not kin to. We as a black nation has to start pulling as a black nation.
Yeah.
Because if we all get together and pull, we cannot pull any other race there is.
Yeah.
We cannot pull.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. With that being said, Wes, man, I'm gonna ask you this question, Doc. Now, you remember when that boy stabbed that white boy down there in Dallas? Do you think he got a fair trial?
No, because there wasn't a black on the trial. And besides that, they tried him in one of the most prejudiced towns up there in that county.
Oh, it is?
It is. They tried him in there. They don't want no blacks over there. They think they better than that.
But I thought it was in Frisco.
Nah. Well,
it was in Frisco, but it happened in Frisco, but it was Collin County.
Yeah. And he stabbed the guy right on the edge of Plano.
But I don't understand, how is it this kid can defend himself safely when you got somebody beating up on you? What is the protocol to that?
I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody needs to know the law.
Yeah.
Because that's where the line, the thin line is. You got to know the law.
Yeah.
Right? The main thing they use against most people in a case like that is when the person attacked you, you became the person that was getting beat.
Yeah.
Right? You become the plaintiff.
Yeah.
Right? When the tables turn and you pull the knife and they back off, you become the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they use that against you. They could probably show nowhere in the case that this man became the aggressor because it all happened so quick.
Yeah.
But that's the guy. That's what they're gonna use to give that man what they gave him.
Yeah.
That he was the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that did this thing. And you know, it's not that. It's not that way. And I'm not gonna say to tell your kids don't try to make friends, because you know that's the thing that makes this country what it is.
Yeah.
If we can get people from opposite races, opposite demographics,
Background
to get along together, it makes everything work. But you need to know who you're trying to make a friend with.
Yeah, that's the key factor there, boy. That's the key.
You need to know.
Yeah.
You need to know, because there is some people that have agendas that are set just to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
They get you to come in with them. Hey man, let's go down here and check this out. But the whole deal was this kid here is trying to become part of somebody's gang in town, and they need some kind of initiation.
Yeah, guinea pig.
Yeah,
guinea pig.
We're going to talk this guy into coming down here so we can beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
Or go as far as killing him.
Yeah.
But you need to teach your kids to have enough common sense to be able to choose between the differences, to know who your friend and who not your friend.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're right.
It's important.
Yeah.
That we know who we talking to.
Yeah, it's more common now that we have to teach our kids that, and now with you having grandkids, like you say, you don't do the baby talk. It's it's good that you're in their life. Not to say that that your sons are not in their life. It's just the fact that it's a little bit more stern when grandpa there.
Yeah.
You know, grandpa ain't that's your grandpa. So whatever he say go. Daddy voice gets overruled when grandpa there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Because grandpa make a lot more sense.
My oldest grandson, Cameron. Cameron is 2 years older than the next in line, right?
Yeah.
His little brother came along. He's 4 years older than his little brother.
Yeah.
But when Cameron was 3, Cameron liked to mess with the TV control.
Yeah.
And I would say, Cam, leave that control alone. It's sitting here on the table. I'd see him. He's sitting there looking at the corner, his eye at the control. I'm looking at the corner of my eye at the control. He eased his hand up on the counter, and when his hand got on top of that control, I just slammed down on it. I sit there and tell you, leave that control alone. When his little brother came along, when Kyan got to be 3, Kyan was in that mess control. He said, you better leave that control alone because Papa gonna pop you. But it's good, I mean, it makes me very happy to see my sons being successful parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes me even happier when they call me and pick up the phone. Like Siobhan called me today, just starting a new job out there on one of the companies delivering grain.
Okay.
And he called me because I used to drive 18-wheeler. So he said, Dad, I'm taking an 18-wheeler out today. Well, my cousin died on the 2nd of August.
Uh-huh.
He was a truck driver. So we went to a wake for him, and they played this song, Heavy Load Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my son, I said, hey, I sent it to him. I said, I want you to listen to this. I said, because the man that sang this song might not know nothing about truck driving, but the person that wrote that song knew something about truck driving. So when I called him, when he called me, they told him, I said, hey, remember what the song say? The job ain't done till you bring the load down. When you deliver that load, the job is done.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a heavy truck. We're going to brake early. We're going to swing wide so we don't put a trailer over the top of somebody's truck or car. I said, we're going to use common sense.
Yeah.
I said, and we're going to get the load there safely, not quickly, safely.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, it makes me proud when my sons call me about anything, or when he calls me and they upset about something that's going on with the son. I'm going to talk to him because, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to bring my son back down.
Yeah.
And once I get him calm and cool and collected, he can go handle his son.
Yeah.
But that's one generation reaching out to the other generation down to the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Because another thing that's missing in today's families is the younger generation don't know that the older generation still run this.
Yeah.
You know, in our family, my dad's mom is what I consider the first generation.
Mm-hmm.
Her son, which is my dad, is second generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm third generation. My son is fourth generation. My grandson is fifth generation. If one generation is talking, number one generation, everybody else needs to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, if third generation and fourth generation is talking, first generation come in and say, hey, look here, this is how this go. But there are a lot of kids, I have friends that tell me, I told my grandma to shut up. I said, you still got your teeth?
Yeah.
I said, because my grandma would have knocked all your teeth out.
Man, I couldn't.
We couldn't even say lie.
Mm-mm.
You know, we had to say he was telling the story.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But kids these days, you know, I understand that parents have evolved a little bit different than we, but there's still certain things that's just plain no respectful.
Yeah.
You can't be fifth generation, call first generation a lie.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to keep it together.
Yeah. I know we couldn't say lie, we said fibbing.
That's right.
No, that ain't, because if you come in there with that, and then another thing is, like, when we used to come into the house, and like my granny would be there, and they humming. It'd be sometime on Sundays. My mama and my granny be in there drinking coffee. You know, we walk in there. I'm going straight to get me some cereal.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying nothing to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Man, granny watch me going down. She said, "Oh, what's wrong with that boy?" I look back. I ain't did nothing on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't speak when I came.
That's
in.
right.
Mama say, hey, put that bowl back in there and go back in your underwear in that room and come back out there like you got some sense.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean like I got some sense? I just got up. She said, play with me if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I put that bowl back though. Quick, fast, in a hurry.
You know, because we were taught, as far as I knew, it was proper etiquette. If you entered the room, to speak to everybody that was already in the room.
Yeah.
And my sons will tell you, don't come nowhere near me in the morning if I didn't hear you go to the bathroom first. Go brush your nasty teeth. Don't come in here with dragon breath breathing all over me.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, can I get no? You can't get nothing but out of my face and back in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just a part of parents being parents. You got to teach your kids right.
Yeah, you got to.
You know, you'll meet people today that's grown men. Got eye boogers, ain't brushed the teeth, ain't put no lotion on him. I'm like, hey, I had a guy work for me. He used to tell me, why you come to work? You got cologne on, you got lotion on. I say, hey man, I come to work like I'm going to business, because this is business.
Yeah.
I said, and just because I'm finna dig a ditch, I don't want to smell like I already dug one when I step to these people's door for the first time.
I know that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
I said, and if I have to, I got a shirt in the truck. So after we dig this ditch, I can take that little sweaty shirt off, put another shirt on for the next client. It's just personal pride.
Yeah.
Pride in your company.
Yeah.
You know, pride in your family, pride in your people. So we just need to step in and put the pride back into raising these kids. You know?
Yeah.
It won't hurt them.
No, it won't.
They will be like a lot of young guys.
But what would you what you think would it take, West, for people to do that? Just to instill this in these kids? Do you think it's just people need to take more parenting classes, or they just need to listen, or what do you think needs to happen?
I think, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful on the broadcast.
Yeah.
But they need to grow a pair. You worried about hurting your son or your daughter's feelings, you want to be their friends. What we need to do is step back and realize that these kids that we send into the grave are going to the grave because we treat them like friends. Yeah. I'm not saying to be mean to a child.
Yeah.
I've never been mean to any of my kids.
Yeah.
And I have 3 sons, but I raised 5 kids. You know, because the first woman that I married had a child, and the second woman that I lived with, that I have 3 sons with, you know, she had a son when I met her. Right? So I've raised 5 different kids. Right? Yeah. But the thing is, you cannot be these kids' friends. You know, I'm not saying to be so hard on the child that they ain't allowed to speak.
Yeah.
You know, because my sons will tell you, one thing I always let them do is speak their mind. I used to tell them just like this: say what you need to say, but make sure you say what you say it right. Yeah. You can't just tell me any old thing. You can't be disrespectful. So when you come in here to preach your case, make sure you got it down where it's respectful It's your case pleaded.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you can't say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a way of talking.
Yeah.
But not being disrespectful with the talking.
That's right.
Because you can get your point across without being disrespectful.
And it's a way of listening as a parent.
Yeah.
As a parent, you need to listen. Because one of the problems that keeps our kids from being friends with us is that a lot of parents beat their kids without saying a thing to them about what you did.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna give me a whooping? What I'm getting a whooping for? You know? And don't come in with that old stuff that they say you probably missed one.
Yeah.
No, don't give me that. Why you giving me a whooping? You know?
Hey man, I've been down that road too, boy.
I have too.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fair on both sides. You know, we got to be firm but fair.
Yeah.
You know,
it's only right though, right? It's only right. You know,
it's right because you don't want to make your kids be your enemies.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they being abused, right? So
yeah.
we got to do a whole lot of more talking.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we got to do a whole lot of more camaraderie as a people. You know, we've got to make our blacks understand that just because I'm not your family doesn't mean I can't protect you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes all they need to protect a child is just for somebody to tell them, son, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
it.
You're right. Well, people, I'm here with my good friend, man, Mr. Errol Wesley, man. We are chopping it up here at the Chop It Up podcast. We're going to take us a break. Hey, man, and we're going to be right back with you. Hey, y'all stay tuned because you're tuned in to the Chopping It Up podcast.
Brand new podcast, chopping it up. You can get you some game or you can get you a cut. We speaking all kind of topics from rich to poor. All negative vibes, get your ass out the door. We connecting with the people trying to get them some knowledge. Whether working 9 to 5 or trying to get into college. We talking business, religion, race, cops, sports, celebrity, health, ops, everyday life shit. We go through it too. Gotta have them new J shit, we blow money too. Who you vote for? Who your favorite sports team? Who you signing to? What's your deepest sports?